There are plenty of places, people, and events which end up being described as paranormal due to the supposed interference of spiritual beings or ghostly phenomena. But what about those incidents which aren't paranormal? They're just abnormal. What's the explanation for those? For example, why is an ancient archaeological site giving off radioactive readings? Why can't electronic signals penetrate this area of Mexico? And did the US Navy really see a ship disappear before their very eyes? Let's find out in our list of 7 unexplained abnormal oddities. Number 7. The Death Ship. The SS Orang Medan was a Dutch freighter crossing the Indonesian Strait of Malacca in summer 1947, when something deadly decided to pay its crew a visit. A haunting SOS call was made from the ship, picked up by listening posts and other ships in the area, and the following message was broadcast. Begin quote, "All officers, including captain, are dead, lying in chart room and bridge. Possibly whole crew dead." End quote. Well, that doesn't sound promising. This report was followed by further signals which couldn't be interpreted, before one final call which could, spelling out a simple 2-word message. Begin quote, "I die." End quote. The closest ship at the time was a US merchant ship, Silver Star, and upon boarding, her crew found every sailor on board the SS Orang Medan lying dead, scattered around the boat with no wounds, outstretched arms, eyes wide open, and expressions of terror on their faces. Kinda like the face I'd pull if I woke up next to Tila Tequila. The SOS messenger was also found, his hand still on the Morse code key, with his eyes wide and teeth bared. The crew of the Silver Star decided to tow the boat back to port in order to find out what strange force had taken over this ship. But before they could set sail, the SS Orang began to smoke, eventually exploding with a huge force before sinking without trace, taking with it the answers of what caused this mysterious and deadly event. Number 6. The Dancing Plague. When a night at the club is about to kick off, you'll see some ballsy individual get up on the dance floor all by themselves to bust a few moves. That person will be followed by another, then another, and another, until there's a whole bunch of people twerking, bumping, grinding, and daggering themselves into a sweaty orgy of limbs and lust. Eventually, these guys and girls will get tired and go home, but what if they couldn't? What if for some reason they felt compelled to dance themselves to death? Well, that's what's happened in Strasbourg, France in 1518, because when one woman named Miss Trophia began dancing enthusiastically in the street, others began to follow her, until gradually over a whole month, a 400-strong dance party had kicked off. For some reason, nobody could stop dancing, and eventually many died from heart attacks, strokes, or just pure exhaustion. The local council decided that these people were suffering from quote-unquote hot blood, which sounds pretty sexy, but weirdly they decided the only cure for the dancing plague was more dancing. Eventually the party ended and presumably they all went to get takeout, but unless 16th century France had access to some real good party pills, we still have no explanation for what caused the strange dance plague of 1518. Nor what caused it to occur several times since and before, with this mysterious yet oddly amusing phenomena dating back as early as 1374. Number 5. Rods. Rod Stewart, A-Rod, Rod Flanders. Rods are usually pretty damn weird anyway, but the rods discovered by filmmaker Jose Escamilla in 1994 are by far the strangest. These rods can't be seen easily with the naked eye, they can't be felt, and they can't be tasted. Not that anyone's tried. The only way they can be observed is by videotaping the event and slowing down the footage. Escamilla first noticed these rods on film taken in Midway, New Mexico, and since then, he and many others have filmed these unexplained phenomena on a number of occasions. They're described as cigar or cylindrical-shaped objects that travel at high velocities, and they also appear to be alive, with fins and limbs visible in Escamilla's slowed-down clips of these mysterious creatures. So what the hell are they? What are they made of? And seriously, what do they taste like? I bet they taste like chicken. It's always chicken. Number 4. The Ancient Nuke. We've covered the mysterious disappearance of India's Indus Valley people several times on this channel, but one of the most intriguing things about these people is that the ruins they left behind are highly radioactive. Harappa and Mohenjo-Daro, considered two of the most important cities in the Indus Valley Society, are today located in modern-day Pakistan. So okay, surely the Pakistani government has just been having a little fun testing out nukes in the desert, right? Wrong. All the evidence points to this radiation dating back thousands of years, and many skeletons uncovered were found to be as radioactive as those found at Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Further archaeological excavations have uncovered what seems to be blast sites, as in Mohenjo-Daro, a 150-foot wide explosive epicenter was discovered within which everything was crystallized, fused, or melted. Clearly, something crazy went off in the Indus Valley Society thousands of years ago, and whilst it obviously wasn't a nuke, it was certainly something pretty spicy. Number 3. The Silent Zone. In Mexico's Durango region, there's a small area of desert called Bolson de Mapimi, which has been producing some very strange phenomena over the past 50 years. Visitors to the site have seen strange lights in the sky and experienced a complete communications blackout, meaning no radio, television, microwave, or satellite signals can penetrate the area, making it the world's only guaranteed Friends rerun free zone. Also, for some reason, this small patch of Mexican desert seems to attract an inexplicably large number of meteor strikes, and recent topsoil samples of the area have produced alarmingly radioactive readings. One possible explanation for these strange readings and activities could be linked to an odd incident in the 1970s when the US military base in Green River, Utah pulled a full-on Trump and accidentally attacked Mexico. An Athena test missile was launched towards White Sands Missile Range, but went off course and hit Bolson de Mapimi, which is over 1,000 kilometers away from its intended target. Good job, America. The rocket was reported to be carrying a Cobalt-57 payload, but since so many weird phenomena have now begun to afflict this region of Durango, Mexico, perhaps there was something more on board that rocket that the military doesn't want to admit. Number 2. Globsters. Globsters refer to the giant unidentified masses of organic matter which have washed up on coastlines around the world, and the term was first coined by Tasmanian man Ivan T. Sanderson when he discovered a 20-foot carcass in 1960. The remains he found contained no eyes, no head, and no bone structure. It was literally just a 5-ton blob. And if you think I'm about to cruelly compare this discovery to a random celebrity, you're wrong. I'm better than that, kind of. But whilst some globsters have been discovered to be malformed squid and whale fetuses, many have yet to be identified. Some even have a random assortment of features such as tentacles, flippers, and external teeth. So what's going on? Is Mother Nature taking another shot at making an animal weirder than the platypus? Are pollutants causing sea creatures to be born malformed? Is there an underwater boneless banquet waiting for us in the sea? Or are we simply ignorant of the many weird and wonderful creatures which we've yet to discover in the ocean deep? Number 1. The Philadelphia Experiment. I experiment every day with Philadelphia by smearing myself in spreadable cream cheese and watching the Tom Hanks movie of the same name. But an even weirder Philadelphia experiment reportedly took place back in 1943 when the US military tested an amazing new technology on the Navy destroyer USS Eldridge. The experiment involved an attempt to bend light around the ship and create an illusion of cloaking. Nazi Germany also experimented with this technology, but when the Eldridge was subjected to this test, there were some shocking results. Eyewitnesses allegedly claimed the Eldridge was successfully cloaked for a short period, but a strange green fog appeared in its place, and upon reappearing, the sailors on board felt incredibly nauseous, especially when they saw what happened to some of their crewmates. Several sailors were found embedded in the ship's hull, and it was this disastrous outcome which caused the Navy to abandon the experiment. Nobody knows whether this experiment genuinely did take place, or if it was an exaggerated report of a genuine attempt at radar masking. But invisibility and stealth technology has been a long-held goal of the US military, so is it too much of a stretch to imagine that some of their experiments to achieve this may have gone a little overboard? Are you still trying to get that image of my naked cheese-covered body out of your mind? Then why not watch this video on the 7 weirdest foods humans eat? There's even more cheese in there waiting for you. But I won't be smearing this kind on my body anytime soon.